It's a real pleasure being here. I feel like deja vu all over again. Seems like I met recently with this group before. So, and I know you've heard a lot of people speaking. So I'm going to make sure that I don't repeat anything that you may have already heard from me about my biography. I come out of the private sector. I'm not a career politician. I have had limited government service, as Mike referred to, as a U.S. ambassador. But before that, I had an opportunity to go serve in Iraq for 7 months in 2003 and 2004. And two things about that. If anybody calls you and offers you a job in Iraq or in Ireland, call me, because there is a right answer to that question. I highly recommend Ireland. The second thing about that is that people have told me, since I got on the campaign trail here to run for governor, that if I thought Iraq was tough, wait until I get to Hartford. So, anyway, I would just like to take a moment. I haven't heard all the speakers, maybe this is done before, but just take a moment and enjoy the results in Massachusetts on Tuesday. I have been traveling all around this state since June, and I noticed in early August a shift in sentiment from bemusement and curiosity about the Obama administration and Nancy Pelosi and what was going to happen in Washington to real anger and real energy. And I've been talking about this to people, but we saw it, and we saw a big message delivered to Washington on Tuesday. It's a wonderful thing for the party. It's a wonderful thing, I think, for policy over the next year or two, and it's a wonderful thing for the country, because I think a lot of us, everybody in this room, I assume, agrees with me that this country has been heading in the wrong direction under this administration, this Congress, and we need to set it back on the right course. Now, I would like to say that I think a lot of that same anger I've been sensing out there talking to people traveling around this state is directed at Hartford for a lot of the same reasons. There are four things that people seem to care about the most, above and beyond all others: jobs in the economy, this reckless spending going on in Hartford, the burden of taxes on working families is way too high in this state, and nobody likes the way business gets done and doesn't get done in Hartford. I think the next governor needs to have a plan for addressing all four of those. I have that plan. It's right here. Rather than bore you with all the details right now, it's actually quite specific. It addresses each of those four issues and what I would do to fix them. And I believe I can fix them. And let me tell you some of the solutions about bringing businesses to Connecticut, taking advantage of our so-called knowledge corridor, the corridor where we have one of the most amazing national assets in terms of the combination of human resources, academic resources, and infrastructure, running from Enfield to New Haven. Nobody in the government is taking advantage of that asset. Studies have been done to identify the industries that could be attracted here based on the assets we have. Nobody in the government that I know of is out there trying to attract those industries here. We are one of the most business unfriendly states in the country, as rated by a reliable rating agency, and so on and so forth. Those are all things that I can change. It's listed here in the plan. I also believe that we can reduce government spending. I have a goal of being able to reduce government spending in Hartford by 5%, or almost $1 billion. That is the very minimum that government spending needs to be reduced to address the structural deficit that we're facing in the very near-term future. I think this state is a wonderful state. I think we've been headed off in the wrong direction here for a while. We haven't yet reached the point of no return, but I think if some pretty dramatic action and strong leadership isn't shown in the next administration in Hartford, we may pass the point of no return. I think I can provide that leadership. As I said, I have the plan. Go on my website, it'll be on there, and that's tomfoley2010.com, and you can read the details yourself. I would like to get everybody on board this campaign. I'm the only candidate on the Republican side who can say that I'm not part of the problem. I'm not a career politician. I have real executive experience. I'm a problem solver. That's how I spent my career in business. And a lot of those skills and experience can be applied to the challenges facing our government in Hartford. Leadership starts at the top. I've talked to many groups, and I've said that during times of crisis like we face here in Connecticut now, politicians and politics really don't work. It's leaders and leadership that succeeds. It's a time for strong leadership. One thing I'd like to say, leadership starts at the top. I would like to call on all the Republican candidates for governor to renounce public financing of campaigns. I don't know how any Republican is going to get out there and credibly present an argument that we need to reduce public spending when they would be taking $4.5 million off the top. Thank you. The public financing bill, which, as you know, is under challenge in the courts and may or may not survive, I think some form of it probably will, is what I call the Career Politician and Incumbents Full Employment Act. It really is only going to perpetuate and make the problems that we have in Hartford worse. And at the very least, I think that Republicans ought to renounce the plan and show some strong leadership and not be taking public financing for their campaigns. I'd really like to have you join my campaign. I'd like to have you help me send a message to Hartford. And with this plan, which I'm confident we can implement shortly after I'm governor, we can make the changes we need to make. And I'm ready to go to work and get Connecticut working again for all of us. Thank you very much.